And Officer Eric Wilson's death is one of more than 200,000 homicides in the U.S. that remain unsolved. The older a case gets, the more challenging it can be for law enforcement to make an arrest. Our Victoria Bailey joins us now. She talked with investigators and she has more on these difficulties. Victoria.
That's right, Tommy. Those nationwide numbers come from a report by Scripps News and NPR back in 2015. Now today, law enforcement tell me it's hard enough tracking down witnesses, testimony, evidence for a new case, let alone one that happened 5, 10, or even 2 decades ago.
A case becomes cold after only a year.
It could be several things that make it a cold case. There's not enough evidence, there's not a weapon, there's not a name, there's not any source of people that you can gather your information from, so it kind of goes unsolved for a while until you can get things for its proof.
Aberdeen Police Chief Henry Randall says after carrying a badge for 21 years, technology has definitely extended how law enforcement can investigate a crime.
We can do a lot of things with technology. We can ping phones, we can look at evidence, computer normally capitalize on some of the things that the criminals think is they've erased.
Monroe County Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says having enough information on a cold case is challenging, and making it stick in court is a bigger challenge.
What he says or she says, that's really going nowhere. What you need is facts. Factual things that actually happened, factual things or a statement that you heard that you can testify to and help us in court.
Now these investigations can be worked a few ways, through the responding agency, through the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, or the case could be contracted out.
You have a lot of retired officers, a lot of retired detectives that like to take on these responsibilities. They have way more time to go out of town. They have more resources. They're able to call some other local departments that they've worked with in the past, and they're able to gather evidence that we may not be able to get.
Both officers say a vital part of solving a cold case is
your people, your citizens are your biggest support. If you can get your citizens to give you a start somewhere, that usually helps tremendously.
If anybody knows anything about a cold case, or they have any evidence, any new evidence on any cold case, we're willing to sit down and talk to anyone, anytime.
Now you can also contact law enforcement anonymously through a Crime Stoppers organization. Tommy?